Hey, I'm Jim Jinkins, the creator of Doug, and you're listening to Verbal Shenanigans.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to the Verbal Shenanigans podcast. What are we at? 565. Mike climbing towards 600. 65.
Did you moo to begin?
Did I moo?
Yeah, it sounded like
Yeah,
you
I
mooed.
did.
You went, moo, welcome.
I did have a little bit of like Mike and the Mad Dog, like, good morning, everybody. Like something came out of me. I don't like doing the intros. You start doing the intros.
Well, it's just you gotta ask.
You
for
tell
this
me
stuff.
I'm mooing.
You did. You went welcome, and it's like that's not a natural letter combination going into welcome.
That is true. Welcome doesn't really flow.
No.
No. Listen, Mike, I've been doing this for 13 years. Like, let me handle it, okay? You know, this is what the professionals do. You moo into your welcome. It's a
Well, I've been doing it for 12 and a half, and I'm going to mock you when you moo before a welcome.
Well, anyway, welcome back to the Verbal Shenanigans podcast. We're coming off another good one, I must say, with Vincent Patterson.
Great interview.
Those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, go check that one out before you even listen today. Yeah, he's Michael Jackson's choreographer, Madonna's choreographer. Just a very cool episode. It's got a lot of good feedback on that one, too. So I think, Mike, we are on a roll. Outside of us talking about things that could fit in our butts and orifices for a half hour straight last week, I think, or at least our guests and our interviews have been on fire lately.
Yeah, if we're going to do Orpheus stuff, we can't go back to Veedworks and blimp pilots and women who thought they were Marilyn Monroe in a past life and stuff like that. We got to bring the A game, at least for the interview.
I was laughing today at the thought of Vincent Patterson, who's worked with some of the greats, Michael Jackson, and he was talking about how amazing being around Michael Jackson was and how you could feel the creativity coming off this guy. I picture him being like, oh, let me check out the episode I'm on. Like, first off, he's probably like, where is my interview? It's probably a half hour in. And then he's like, they're still talking about what can fit inside a human being.
Yeah, that was one of those moments when I sent him the, hey, we just sent it out and do collabs. I probably should have started with, you should go right into minute 31 when we introduce you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But
I said, check out our novel conversations that we have on a regular basis here on the Verbal Shenanigans podcast.
But anyway, glad to be back. We're climbing towards 600, Mike, which I guess would be our next checkpoint. Kind of weird to say that it was 65 episodes since we recorded 500 with Richard Hatch from Survivor, because that kind of feels like a couple months ago, like that time, like when we were preparing for 500 and getting things ready, and you had your song so ready to go. But doesn't that feel like, I don't know, 5 months ago? It doesn't feel like a long time ago.
A lot of these times where I'll be talking to somebody and say, oh, I just talked to them. Oh, cool. When was it? 2023.
Yeah, I know.
Just talk to them.
Yeah. So 600 is coming up, but we have a awesome episode for you today. So just ignore us for the next 20 minutes or so. And then I promise the fans, I promise them, if you don't like the interview, you're dead inside. Okay. Because anyone who is around my age or, Burlow's old crusty age, should enjoy this interview.
Well, I just did a procedure where they confirmed I'm not dead inside, but I digress.
Well, let's get into that. Let's start with that. Now, Mike, last week you talked, you were about to have a procedure. obviously we need to follow up, and I don't really care how it turned out. I want to know, did you get the footage?
I did not. I do have the downloads where they're like, here's the pictures going in both directions. So we could put it up on Instagram if we really wanted to and tag our guests.
We've been having a really good run on Instagram. I think that's how we get shadow banned, which I already think we kind of are, because anything that comes directly from our page is like no views. Anything that comes from like outside of our page, massive views. So
yeah.
All right, Mike.
Yeah,
preface for the audience. Kind of what, if they didn't tune in last week, what's going on here?
Yeah, so I just had a procedure where they did 2 procedures when I was in the I guess the hospital you call it, but I had EGB, which is the camera going down your throat to check out your stomach, and I had my colonoscopy, which is the opposite direction. One is coming north, one is coming south.
Now, my first question is, are they doing this at the same time where the cameras kiss at some point in the middle of your body?
Yeah, it's very cute and all. Like, they have people betting on when they'll meet up and all.
We talked about those sperm races that one group was doing. They're betting which camera can meet the stomach first.
But let me go into some stories, go to the pre-prep and all, because that's where the fun stuff is. So
I'm sure.
For starters, I had dinner over a friend and a person who's been on the cast, Kelly Warner. He and his fiance moved into a new home, and it was his fiance's birthday. Happy birthday again, Abigail, if you're listening. So they invited me over their house for like a little celebration, and due to conflicts of scheduling, I kept getting bumped back, and all. It was supposed to be on the Thursday, then they had to move it to Friday, and then Kelly realized he had a gig, David Pippin group, anybody wants to check him out. So it was on Sunday. I'm like, yep, no problems whatsoever. But then I realized Sunday was in my 5-day window of getting ready for said procedure. I had like the awkward thing of going, hey, yeah, I can come over. Just I need a low fiber food regimen. If you want me to provide it, if you can't do it, I can eat beforehand. I will still be a wonderful guest, but it has to be like low fiber and stuff. And then so there's like a little bit, that's fine. Yeah, I can hook you up or whatever and all.
No, let me stop there. Okay. Do you think they got the text and they were like, God damn it, we gotta figure out what the hell is a low fiber menu? We gotta go to the food store and get even like special low fiber diet. They're like, God, why did we invite this dude?
Well, I did preface with, technically, like, low fiber is just like no raw vegetables, no nuts, no no seeds. So don't feed me nuts and seeds.
So Kelly invited you over for the nuts and seed and celery party.
Hey, that's what he's known for.
Wow,
Kelly's known in music biz for his awesome drumming and his weird dinner preps. That's
I knew when that guy came on the podcast, I liked him because I've been trying to get invited to his nut and seed and celery party for like a year now.
It's hard to come by. I'm sorry, man. I told you got to come down here for like a summer. And
a summer?
Yeah. His parties are so amazing. If there's an opening in like 2 months, we can sneak you in and all, but you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to get an invitation. I'm going to take a flight down. You never know who's going to show up at the nut seed party.
Did you say Nazi party?
Nut seed.
Oh, I thought you said Nazi party. Yeah. You never know.
No, that's why I say to members of the Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. I digress. So lovely dinner. He made homemade what's it called? Taco Bell where they have like the soft shell and like the cheese inside and then the hard shell. What's that?
Like an enchilada or something?
No. It's like a soft shell with a sauce inside and then a taco within. forget what the Taco
some kind
Bell
of great
term is, but
Mexican burrito enchilada
Yeah,
combination.
yeah, so he made like homemade, like he literally like was on the internet, hand fried to make taco shells and fill it with meat and stuff like that. So that was absolutely delicious. He specifically made two with no lettuce in it, ergo the Burloo tacos right there. And even just like
The burrito, I was originally going to serve nut seed burritos, but we opted for meat instead.
Yeah. Abigail went out, picked all these nuts from the trees and all. We were going to have a special from the like, we were making squirrel dinners for everybody, but then you had to come.
It was Kelly's harvest party, and you ruined it.
I know. It's terrible. It's terrible. But like, even like halfway through, he just looked at me. He's like, "Low fiber, you getting colonoscopy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't pronouncing to your friends who I haven't met before. That's not the greatest."
My name is Mike,
introduction,
and my asshole is getting clean tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Shake my hand.
So that's like the first one. Then like the day before is like the real specific diet and all. Like you can't have any kind of solids whatsoever. You can have clear broths, chicken broth. You can have a Jello. You can have like ices, a certain type. That was one item on the list. Popsicles of items to eat on there. So I'm like, all right, got a bunch of chicken broth. I got some Jellos, and I got a big old box of popsicles and all, just in case I want to eat and all. So,
what do you like? One of the kids from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Augustus Clump. I got Jellos and pops, and I don't know. You can do like broth.
The snozberry popsicles taste like snozberries.
Also, I picture you buying way too much Jello for one day. Like
I did buy like 3-4 packs of lime Jello. It is not even like my preferred flavor whatsoever.
When's the last time you even had Jello? I haven't had Jello in forever.
I've made it a couple times just for the hell of it, like when
you're feeling a little randy, you just want to just have a little Jello party.
Yeah. I've told enough stories on the podcast. I could be like, "Hey, Scott, I tell you I was at a Jello party," and you won't blink an eye.
Yeah, I know. But, you would also be like, "Oh, Scott, I put my DNA in the Jello. It was a crazy party." Yeah.
So, like, all right, the day starts. I'm having my chicken broth for breakfast and my lime Jello. I'm like, all right, I'm still a little hungry and I'm going to eat a popsicle. So I get an orange popsicle and I take a bite and I have one bite and I thought of something. I said,
finally.
Eventually it happens. I said, the paperwork brought up that like Gatorades are allowed, but you're supposed to avoid certain colors.
I've heard this before.
Red, orange, and purple. Now, it just points out the Gatorade has to be certain colors, but then I said to myself, well, wait a minute, if I can't have Gatorade's a certain color, why am I going to have this orange popsicle, which is clearly not? So I Googled it, and it's like, no, you can't have red, orange, purple, or blue popsicles. So that's basically the entire spectrum of popsicles.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main colors.
Yeah. So there was like, I threw the rest of the popsicle away, and
I'm picturing you like buying the bomb pops, the American ones, and just licking the blue part.
Middle. And putting the rest back for the guests. Maybe Kelly will bring me back for another seed nut party. And I could bring the red and the blue part of the popsicles.
Hey, Mike, you want to come over? Hey, what can I bring? Well, I was thinking about bringing the stumps of the bomb pops. No,
I would have the top and the stump. Okay,
that's true. Yeah.
The lemon's in the middle.
The bookends of
yeah. So I put it away, and I prayed to God that this wasn't a situation where I had one bite, and it's like, we did your colonoscopy. Do-over. Have to go back to that. So took care of that. So getting ready for the next day and all, had all the drinks. Side note, when you get your colonoscopy, make sure it's a morning one, because there's nothing fun about taking laxatives at 10 at night, taking certain fluids at 2 in the morning to prepare for an afternoon colonoscopy. And all.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when the sun rises, so does the camera. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah.
But next day comes, and I have a luck-out situation. So you recall last week, we had a little fun with my dad. Not making fun of my dad, but like how he wanted to leave 2 hours for a 20-minute drive for my colonoscopy.
Like an outgoing message. Flight.
Yeah. So I got a message from the hospital. They're like, we could fit you in at noon. You have to get here by 11:30. So I had to call up my dad and all that. And I'm like, any chance? And all, he's like, well, I can get there. I'll get here at this time. But I'm like, just get here at this time. They don't give me the leeway if I'm 2 minutes late for my hour prep.
Oh, Lord, I can't get to my boy who needs a camera up his butt.
Yeah. I mean, to be, as much as he jokingly said 11:10, he did have to get here by 10:30 so I can get there by like 11 something or whatever. So get in there, get it. They're prepping me for procedure. I'm in the gown, nothing under me and whatever. And they had some good conversations with the nurses and stuff like that. And they rolled me into the procedure room. So like I said, I'm getting the camera down the throat as well. So they basically have like what's almost equivalent to a plastic ball gag that goes into your mouth. It's like a big old circular hole where they stick the camera down through it and all.
Wow. So you look like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction.
A little bit, yeah.
Now, real quick, before you continue, when you walked into the hospital, were there any nurses eyeing up Big Wild Hank? Like, oh, I remember you from the old hand story. You know, like we've heard about you.
I'm sure Big Wild Hank got a couple of numbers, but had to remind them that he's wearing a ring on his finger. Gotcha. So, like I said, so they put the thing in my mouth and they're pumping me with anesthesia right now. But there's
now, what are the? Let me get your feelings. Like, are you freaking out? Are you nervous?
Not blinking an eye.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
Not blinking an eye. Neither eye. If you're not think nothing about it was scary, whatever. It's like, all right, whatever. Good. I'm gonna go to sleep. But so with the gag kind of in my mouth, I realized I'm like, I don't know where to put my tongue. So with the gag in my mouth, I asked the question, and they said, nobody has ever been able to say a decent sentence with that thing in their mouth. So they almost congratulated me on the ability to talk with the gag in my mouth.
Are you telling me we've been doing this for 13 years now, 12 years, all this time where I have no clue what you're talking about? You're messing up where all I needed was you to shove a ball in your mouth?
Well, it's not a ball. It's like a plastic with a circular opening to shove the camera.
Let me rephrase my sentence. All I needed was a plastic circular ball.
Well, it's not a ball, but correct. Yeah. So they're like, yeah, just put your tongue wherever. We're professionals. We know what to do. But they like congratulate me on the ability to talk. So I'm like, all right, what else you want to talk about? And I'm making jokes. And then Larry, I'm like, oh, I feel the anesthesia. Good luck. And I conk out, and procedure was done.
Now, were your jokes landing, or were they like, sir, go to sleep?
I had a solid 5.
Oh,
if they didn't put the anesthesia, if they didn't give me the light, I would have kept going, man. I brought the crowd to their feet.
Awesome.
And long story short, I'm back to normal. Nothing found of concerning points. I have other appointments or whatever, but it's nothing I need to get into. Your boy's still around for a while.
All right. So we're now you can go back to taking other people's lives instead of worrying about yours.
I don't take people's lives, Scott. I just show up for nutseed parties.
Come on, buddy. It's time. It's time.
Just because I went to a serial killer museum 2 weeks ago does not mean I am one of said people who have exhibits.
It's not just that, Burlo. It's the bodies. It's the oh, my hot water heater went, so I have to put soap all over my garage. It's the murder trail. It's the guys following you at different
The
spots.
Indian
that
dead
guy.
body.
You know that guy at the dog park was just an undercover agent trying to talk to you.
Nah, I think he was hitting on me. I'll be honest with you. And he was probably imagining me with a ball gag in my mouth.
Now I'm imagining. God damn it. Well,
all right, Scott.
No.
Run into our guest with this one.
Yeah. You've heard of ball gags. No. Oh, well. I think the interview is going to speak for itself because I kind of said a lot of this when we interviewed him, but very excited about this one. This one has this, if you're a kid in the 90s like I am, this has this nostalgia feel all over it. If you grew up in Nicktoons with Doug and Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats, Doug and Ren and Stimpy were my jam. I loved both of them. Rugrats was like kind of on, but my like little sister watched it a little bit more, but I thought it was cool. Yeah. So today on the show, we have the creator of the cartoon Doug. Yes, that Doug Funny, Patty Mayonnaise, Skeeter, you name it. So I'm very excited to get Jim Jinkins on the line. And again, this is like something I was like feeling pretty excited about. And I think the interview is going to pay off. So without further ado, here is our interview with Jim Jinkins. Jim, first off, thank you so much for coming on the show. I was literally just saying to Mike before you came on, like, one thing this show has been really great for us is getting these figures from our childhood on and being able to talk to them all these years later. And you fit like that exact category because I was watching Doug. Not only when I was little, I was holding on to Doug way past like when it was cool. Like I should be watching cartoons still. I was still like picking in. Oh, Disney's picking them up. Like, okay, maybe I'll shoot.
File the taxes. One more episode.
Yeah. So my first question is like, what do you think it is about Doug, the cartoon that really, I can only speak for being a young boy and then like a prepubescent boy and then getting into middle school. What do you think resonated so much with fans? And it's not just me because I was talking to guys I work with and other comics the other night, and they were all pretty excited for this interview just because they had the same feelings.
It's a great question, and it's kind of mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you this. I have my point of view about the answer to that, but I want to jump ahead to when Doug was out, so that's a lot of years ago. Mm-hmm. People would run up and say, "Oh, when's Doug gonna kiss Patty? And when's Doug gonna beat up Roger?" And specific questions that pertain to the ongoing series. That's gone. Now people come up that are your age. Mm-hmm. And they come up and you just see the brain like, I got to wrap this up into a sentence or two. Yeah. And it's usually some version of, thank you, you made my childhood, or thank you, you showed me a path to grow up and aspire to, or some expansive, I'm sort of, okay. Yeah. Just hardly, but they want to say that. That's important that they want to say it. But back to what my opinion is, that Doug is not, he's neither the super hot, hey, pistols, or is he like a Charlie Brown way back in the day loser that says good grief all the time.
Right.
He's really like any kid in the middle that's trying to figure it out, how do I get the girl I have a crush on when I'm shy or I'm afraid or whatever, and all of those fantasies to play out in his very vivid imagination how it could be, made it a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people might have identified with that. I don't know, just a guess.
Now tell me a little bit about your childhood. Like what for what I've seen, you were at one point going to be a forest ranger or something like that. Dreams of that. Was there an acting bug in you? Was there a drawing bug in you? What kind of led you towards this route?
That's really good. I'll say this: I never thought growing up that I was an artist, but I like to doodle, is what I would say. I was always doodling, and in some cases getting in a lot of trouble for it if the teacher didn't appreciate it, or if I drew all over my notebooks, that they would ream me out in front of the whole class because they didn't see the brilliance of these things. But every now and again, a teacher would pick up on and see what was going on and let me be the cartoonist for this page, or do this cartoon for our bulletin board we're doing, or something that made me feel special or noticed. And one of those teachers I had for my second and third grade, her name was Ms. Wingo. And if you know the series at all, Ms. Wingo was Doug's teacher at the elementary school. And what's really cool about that is I, of course, had lost track of Ms. Wingo forever, really since the third grade. And my aunt was at a retirement home, and I was telling her some of this. She goes, "Well, there's a Ms. Wingo that lives here." And I went, yeah, right. And not like I thought she was lying. I just thought there was no chance it was that Ms. Wingo, which of course it was. And she came over to the house and we hugged, and I got to thank her, and the newspaper came over and made a big deal out of it. And it was a special, super special moment, to have with a teacher that noticed something in me that maybe others missed.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've described Doug, like you even said it before, he's kind of this average kid. Now, I'm curious, like if we put Doug nowadays, like in an era where like modern cartoons, like I watch the things my son watches, and it's like everybody's high stakes magic, and there's multiverses, and there's a lot going on. Do you think like the industry has kind of lost the art of like ordinary, and like how do we make like average feel exciting to kids again? Because it feels like everything's even faster, more explosive, more camera angles, and it's a lot to watch.
Yes, I've thought a lot about this one. One direction my brain goes into is that the maturity, the things that kids are exposed to, how they think, I suspect it would age down. Like Doug was 11 and a half years old, and 8 to 11 was our target audience. That's what the mandate. I'm guessing we would, if you targeted the younger age, you can still have that slower pace, something more thoughtful like that. And my example, like I see this and go, I'm not worthy, it's so amazing, is Bluey. Bluey is for younger kids, but not the youngest of the preschool, not 3-year-old, but 6, 5, 4, right in there. I think that series is off the scale amazing.
It's unbelievable. I mean, there's messages in there for parents that you pick up on. There's little subtle things everywhere. It is amazing. Yeah. Everybody's
invited into that show. Number one. Number two, it's the way I remember our family being. I was that dad, and you're teaching your kid and always thinking about how to mold your kids as they grow, but you do it through jokes and through some surprise way that the kids don't see coming. I just love that show.
It is great.
Yep. So it's just one example. As far as one that is for older kids, I'm going to cite another one that goes the other direction. It's pretty trippy. And it came out in 2014, I think, Over the Garden Wall. Did you see that?
No,
it's 10 episodes. I hope you'll write it down and watch it. It's on several, of the streaming channels. I watch it every year. I think it is extraordinary, and I think of Doug in terms of the overarching plot. It's got these 10 chapters, right. But where it's going when you watch it,
I wrote it down.
You'll see by the time it resolves, you'll be like, this is a Doug episode, but it's much more bizarre, much more of a wild through the looking glass kind of a adventure, and you'll love it. I predict, but it does have it's not a frenetic pace. It's something more beautiful and funny and all kinds of things and kind of creepy. I think some people go, it's not for really young kids because it's got some creepy
Oh, Mike,
stuff.
you'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right up my alley. Scary Doug, sign me up.
Creepy, I'm in. So, yeah. So anyway, that's just some recommendations I think of now.
Before Mike's question, I will say 30 minutes before this interview, before bedtime for my son, I was like, you know what? Just to get a little inspiration, I put on Doug, and that's the first time he saw it. And he did calm down and chill out, and he's going to be 6, but he did calm down and kind of chill out. And I was like, "What'd you think?" And he says, "I like it. I don't know if I love it, but I really like it." And I was like, "All right, that's a start."
All right. Well, let me just add this. Historically, Nicktoons had 3 series, as you know.
Right.
Doug led out the block, then came Rugrats, and then came Ren and Stimpy. So it really, Vanessa Coffey at Nickelodeon described it as a full breakfast. Like Doug is sort of nutritious goodness. Rugrats is, maybe some carbohydrates, I don't know. And Ren and Stimpy is pure sugar. Just
I was gonna say Ren and Stimpy is the crack cocaine.
yeah, that's more accurate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where was I going with that?
We were talking about my son watching it for a few minutes.
Thank you. You got me back on track. You'll be doing this throughout, but it's give it time.
Yep.
One episode's like, I like it like that, but I'm not sure. If you give it time, because we keep everything. A writer couldn't write something and then we just blow it off later. It's like if a new character walks into the world, they're going to come along now, and they age very slowly.
Yeah.
But that it grows. And for example, Roger is a classic bully, right? Tough guy. Yeah. That's not where that lands. He's always obnoxious, but he really becomes a member of the gang, really. And he and Doug, in particular, kind of share secrets or know each other in a different way.
Yeah.
Like Doug saves Roger that episode. That's what happens. Doug, a bully is picking on Roger, so all the tables are flipped. But if he gives it time, he might.
Oh yeah. This was his first exposure. So
yeah.
So as you talked about, Nickelodeon gives you the green light. You got to make an 8-minute pilot. You got to create a production studio. I know you've done a ton of stuff before this occurred with like graphics, animation, acting, producing, writing. Kind of give me a sense of when you got to like speed things up, make this production studio. What is this fits like a glove? It's just like everything else I ever done. And what was something that's like, oh, I didn't foresee this issue or item, and like, oh my God, how the heck am I going to solve this?
Oh, what a great question. No one's ever asked that question. Because you really, you guys obviously have done your homework and know some of these stories. And Doug, when we made the pilot, Doug Can't Dance, it tested the highest of their pilots. So they're like, you're go make, I think it was 13 half hours, and we're going to do 2 stories in each half hour. So that's a whole lot. And now backing up, we're in New York City. New York City had made all kinds of animation, mainly for things like MTV's, those little 10-second spots, or mainly commercials, those kind of things is what the bread and butter of animators in New York were doing, not series. The last series they had done in New York City was Terry Toons. Like if you go back to Tom Terrific and that stuff from Captain Kangaroo days, that's the last series stuff, meaning there was no series work.
Yep.
And that's a slightly different animal. So when they said, "Congratulations, this pilot did great. You're going to go to series," I'm like, "Yeah, we got it. We'll be right back." And we walk out of the meeting, and I turned to David Campbell, a dear friend, but also executive producer with me, and we turned to each other and went, how do we do this? And I confessed that to Vanessa Coffey at Nickelodeon. She went, "It's going to be okay, because we know the series side, and we're going to get you the people you need, and you know what you're doing as far as this story and all that." And she was right, that we used as many of these New York folk as we could. The animators, Tony Eastman, like a director, or Melanie Grisanti as a producer. But they also brought in producers that did series animation in LA, like Jack Spillum was brought in and saved our butts, because if you make a mistake at the beginning, it grows into what could be fixed quickly, turns into a train wreck of stuff, because you're always adding more to the schedule. People like that were experts, saved us a ton in being able to look forward in your process and make sure you're on track. So it was a good relationship in that way between Nickelodeon and the folks we gathered at Jumbo Pictures in New York.
Some of my questions have a kind of a common theme through them. One of the things, as I was thinking about Doug and what was cool about it is like this power of silence in it. Like, there's a lot of quiet moments with Doug, and like reflective moments where he's journaling, daydreaming, like just walking through Bluffington or whatever it was. Like, how did you like find that tone, or that like sense to trust the audience that they can handle this kind of silence and not fill it with noise every second and animation? Like, there was some breathing room in that show, and I'm curious how you found the beats in that show, where you got the confidence to do that.
Wow.
Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's too heady, but I think there's something there.
I would love to
the theme song if it's easier.
I pull out my pipe and go, "Well, guys, when you've been in the biz like I have."
I'm just curious, because I feel like
it's like a great question.
You just jam so much in every frame. There's a silence in Doug. There's a beat in there. It's like telling a joke on stage and knowing when the audience is silent, that is almost a good thing in some way.
That could be a good thing.
Yeah.
I can't really tell you it's because of my great vision and genius. It is true. There were a lot of, you mentioned quiet and all that. I want to say something about one particular episode called Doug's Lucky Hat, but our scripts, say compared to say Disney, and I know this from working on 101 Dalmatian, they did not like, and they marvel at how many pages our scripts were. That typically an 11-minute piece is going to be about 15 pages, something like that. We were 21, 22 pages and all that. So there was a lot of people and therefore relationships and problems that had to be dealt with and all that, a lot of that going on. That may be part of it. The other part is working with music and sound effects with Fred Newman and Dan Sawyer and Bob Poman. Those are the guys that were really working on the sound of the show. That was part of the storytelling, and that was purposeful, and they brought that expertise. So you've got them watching the emotional ups and downs, and we'd talk about it together. We'd watch a scene and then stop it and go, "Okay, now here's what happened. You got to catch this moment." Mm-hmm. So what they added with Fred Newman's mouth sounds and Dan Sawyer's amazing ability to play anything, they just brought a custom-made sound to every story. And then Bob Poman on the other end, mixing the sound and adding his other kinds of conventional sound effects, is part of why it would open up to make room for that.
Yep.
Mentioning the Lucky Hat, Lucky if you remember that episode, which I would say if you were asked to ask me what's my favorite of the Nicktoons Dougs, that's the one.
Lucky hat.
But it was one that was more like 15 pages long. And I told everyone involved, this is going to be different. It's going to be more lyrical. There's going to be a lot more of what you just described. Of it will be opened up to hear the music and hear Doug thinking about this hat that blew into his life literally, and he thinks it makes him lucky, and how that plays out, which he's convinced that's the case, and never takes it off, and what happens later as it blows off in the wind. And it's a beautiful piece, but it's because we gave it that time.
Yeah, the space to breathe.
That space.
You just brought up Disney. I know when you left the show left Nickelodeon, picked up by Disney, there's a lot of changes to some of the characters and items like that. Kind of talk about that, the decision making in that. Was there a concern of, hey, we're on a new network, if we want people to come over to this side, we got to make sure it's what they remember? Or was it just literally like new show, new format, tell a new story? If you come over, great. If we get new people, we get new people.
By the time Disney bought not just Doug, but bought our company, but they needed it to get on ABC. They just acquired ABC. And of course, kids owned Saturday Morning, and they needed programming. So Doug had great momentum by then. And so it was a rare moment in my career life where we had certain amount of control you don't normally get. Normally the executives want to tell you what you need to do. We came in and the executives looked to me and said, you lead us, tell us, we're thrilled to have Doug. Tell us how it can be. And so it opened up and now we'd already done 52 times 2. Remember, there's 2 stories in every episode. Yep. Our writers were, like taking a deep breath about what next and all, number one. Number two, much got cut out of the 11-minute shows because you got to go. That certain running gags we couldn't do, and certain things that we would love to have gotten more elaborate with. So I decided all these things, by the way, I decided it should be 22 minutes long, I think is what it was. So you have room for commercials, which really opened up a different feel to the show. And some people like it and some people didn't. But the other changes, Roger getting, his family getting rich, or Patty's hair getting cut, or Doug, the outfits you could recognize, Doug's, stuff more or less. The palette was the same. But I made those changes to differentiate it from the Nicktoons at a glance, but also to say, in real life, things change. Over the summer, a girl that you haven't seen all summer walks in and has changed their hair or whatever, and you go, wow, look at that, And what I love is that people have opinions about it, and predominantly the feeling is we don't like the Disney ones as much as the Nick ones, or they say Disney really messed it up. And I'm thinking, well, that was really on us, except for one thing, and that is Disney was applying pressure. You got to get more shows going. You've got to develop more. You need 20 things in development, which was not what we were doing beforehand. And so I was required to pull back. So we brought a showrunner in, an amazing talent named Mark York out of LA, and he became the showrunner. He had written for Doug, so he knew the heart of it, but it's still going to change, right? I mean, he's running it. Yeah. I'm still looking at stuff, but he's really day to day the guy, and directed the records and all that. So it's going to change. That's just It would be impossible for it not to. So that's a quick explanation for why the differences. But the main thing is, I'm thrilled people had an opinion, like it or not. It's kind of cool. You relate to the show and characters enough to have an opinion about it.
Well, that kind of segues. One question I did have was there ever requests, like even in the early days, where from executives to make characters into like something they're not? Like, hey, Jim, we need you to, I don't know, can you make Doug more magical, or can you make Pork Chop do that? Like, was there requests, and did you ever have times where you had to stand by your vision and like hold true to it?
Most of the answer is they let me do my thing.
Nice.
We had here comes my visual aids.
I love visuals.
This is the original Doug Bible, and this, we had, charts of the characters and who related to who. See Doug in the middle and all that.
See Quellman there. Yep.
Yeah, these are the original. I mean, look how weird BB looks. He looks like some Maya princess. But this is a very thorough maps, and there's every character was written, all the props and how the physics of the series worked, and all on and on and on. This became a roadmap, a model for how Bibles should be, that Nickelodeon used on all their series for a while. I don't know if they still do, but we killed ourselves to make this piece. But now, when you have that, you can hand a copy of that to your writers and to your designers and just everyone involved, so that they all, in great detail, would be making the same show, if you know what I mean. So that helped kind of true up some of the vision for what we were going to do, and a lot of that was thought through by myself and the team that was that sort of core group. We could figure that out, and we had a great group that figured somehow maybe we had similar childhoods or whatever. But people like Ken Scarborough was our story editor and one of the great writers of the show. He was from Arizona and, a completely different part of the world, but he got it. He really understood who Doug was and was a brilliant writer, for example.
Besides Doug himself, like what other characters in that show have pieces of Jim in them? Like your child, like who are they based off of? Like maybe people don't know. Like, is this character your neighbor, a friend, a family member? Like, who would we not know about?
Well, in some ways, I could say that they were, if I weren't being psychoanalyzed, they were all facets of my personality. Like there's that goofy side, there's the sensitive side, all that. But really, there are bits and pieces of real people. Doug would be me. Skeeter, I had a best friend named Tommy Robertson. He was like Skeeter, a lot more chill and whatever. He didn't do the sound effects like that, but
Damn it.
But there was a real Patty, and
real quick, that's my question: there's a real Patty, and does she know she's does she know she's Patty Mayonnaise, or you just see her on Facebook and you're like, you're my Patty?
I start blushing. I did get over that shyness. When we were premiering the show, we had these little like postcards that were just saying, "Hey, check it out," and it has a picture of Doug and all that. And I found her address, and sent her the card saying, "Check it out. Pay attention to Patty Mayonnaise.
Oh my God! Yeah,
you were her inspiration." And I got to talk to her later at a reunion or something, and she just said it would made her nervous. Like, which way is it going to go? Because she hadn't seen the show yet. Is it going to be, the bitchy, whatever? Or is it going to be? And it turned out really good. She was very relieved and very happy for the way it was.
That's awesome.
And we're friends. We don't see each other much, but Christmas cards to each other or whatever. And she,
now, if you and your wife ever got in a fight, is she like, oh, what am I not patty mayonnaise enough for you?
well, I do the opposite. When people talk about Doug when we meet him on the street or whatever, and I go, and here's patty mayonnaise, and she's like, I am not patty mayonnaise. So she busts my chops.
Smart play.
I know, really.
Oh, I'm not patty enough for you.
Oh, that's good. Sorry, I just got hot doing that.
Yeah. you are turning into Doug. Look what's happening. You're blushing.
Changing into Quail Man.
Yeah. If I were to pass out, just please keep going. Okay, I'm much more comfortable now.
Good.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like I've listened to interviews how you talk about like Doug is just like an everyday kid, so it's not, as you kind of pointed out earlier, he doesn't get Patty, he doesn't beat up Roger. So I'm kind of curious, could you ever fathom kind of like a King of a Hill situation where we bring back the show and it's 20, 30 years later and look at his life? Or do you think like more people be depressed? Like, what do you mean he didn't end up with Patty? What's going on? This is what I tuned in for.
It would be so great. He just hasn't matured at all.
He's in a cubicle.
It would be just ridiculous. No, I actually, you may, because y'all done so much research, this in another podcast, I just like, why not say these things? But in a conversation with an exec at Disney, I was encouraged to do a spinoff, to do a proposal for a spinoff. And that executive put me on the right track of encouragement. Because for me, if you asked the question, does Doug end up with Patty? I would say no, because most people really. Do you marry your first love ever? You know, it may be somebody, not that often, right? But the executive went, Doug is going to marry Patty. And I'm like, okay, let's see how that would work. And as soon as I got through that hurdle, boom, it all just sort of locked in about that community. Various of those people, Skeeter and Roger and all that, they got married to other people you would recognize in the series, and they all grew up. And some they stuck it out, and others they didn't, but typical. But their kids is who we focus on. So all Doug and all those folks are early 30s, kind of like the Doug fans at the time.
No.
And they all have kids. So that's really the center of the show. But we would always bring in Doug and Patty and Roger and all those people too. So you get this two-layered thing going on, which I think would have garnered a really broad audience, like King of the Hill. You mentioned King of the Hill. Sure. Again, I'm not worthy. It's brilliant. And is it Joe Stillman? Is that who I want to say is the creator? I hope I said the right name. Anyway.
Mike Judd, right?
Yeah. Thank you for keeping me straight there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is a brilliant show for an older age group. But a lot of parallels, is how they nurtured their characters and put them through stuff. It was great.
Would Roger be like a online troll instead of like an actual bully? Like,
I don't know. He got money, so he turned his life around.
Well, remember the movie Back to the Future, Biff?
Yes.
Bullies tend to end up really defanged. I mean, they really don't have quite the oomph they think they might be able to have. And so I think Roger would be somewhere in that world, like Biff.
Yeah. When Doug finally kind of wrapped it up and, went away for a while, and you said you had different ideas that went through the pipeline and whatnot, and I'm sure you probably daydream like Doug about bringing Doug back in some kind of form, But when it's finally over, were you ready? Were you ready to say goodbye to Doug at that point? Were you ready to put him away, or does that something that never goes away? Where you're like, I got something new, or a couple of years go by, I got another idea, or were you content when it ended? I'm
trying to let that back in my head because there were two endings. the Nickelodeon ending
Right. Yeah.
and the Disney ending.
Yeah.
And the Nickelodeon, which was the first one, there were little miracles that happened that we didn't see coming in, but it worked out.
Right.
If you recall anything about the last episode of Nicktoons Doug, it is Doug graduating and going on vacation with his parents. Those are the two episodes.
Right.
If we were told it was going to be the last episode, we couldn't have done better. It was exactly what you'd want to do. Is they're all together, the kids, and they're all graduating together, and all the angst and whatever about that, and then he and his family go on vacation. It's like a perfect end. We didn't know we were ending. We thought we had another 13 to make. It's just that's where we were going to wrap it up for that season. And so that kind of had a neat, it's hard to do your last episode, and in a way, maybe it wasn't so self-conscious, and we did it. And then with Disney, of course, we did know, and we made 65. That is the magic number of episodes they make, unless you're just a crazy runaway hit. SpongeBob did, they would make a bunch more than that, but we made 65 half hours, but it then went on into, we did the feature film.
Yep.
We were making books, doing online stuff, the toys. There was so much, because it's Disney, that it was a while before it calmed down. But by then, now we're making, PB&J Otter and developing JoJo Circus. And, you were so busy trying to make the next thing happen that I don't remember being super focused on we got to do more Doug, because we were told how many we were going to make, and we made it.
So you knew the
and that arc, right? That arc was about Patty's dad falling in love with the English teacher, Miss Crystal. And
scandalous.
No. But it was all the angst of that. But it leads to the last episode was a wedding. And so once again, it's the kind of, you've seen it in other shows where they'll do things like that, just like the graduation, that this was another setting where everybody comes back together. Yep. So we did have a nice, tidy little finish, to that series.
You kind of brought up something, like you brought up your other PB&J Otter, Allegra's Window, a lot of stuff that you've done. When you come onto these podcasts as we're doing, are you sitting back saying, well, I'm not going to be talking about my other stuff, like, I'm a little older than Scott, so I can tell you I love Dennis the Menace, and I was around when Pinwheel was on Nickelodeon, so
what?
I could.
No.
Yeah. Yes, I can. Yep.
Wow, you're a Time Lord. Because you're too young
Scott,
to be.
That's my new nickname.
No, don't do this, Jim. He gets a name and he makes me try to call him Time Lord.
You to call me that this episode.
All right. Well, you just blew my mind. Let's just say
that's better. Yeah, no.
Because dang, Pinwheel was the beginning. For me, it was the beginning of my career. And every now and again, you'll have somebody, you'll hear them sing the Pinwheel Open, or they'll remember it, but it doesn't happen that often. And you're right that Doug gets the most attention because it had the largest span, But I don't know. I have plenty to say about almost all of these things. There were some shows go better than others, like Allegra's Window behind the scenes was a harder show to make. And more friction along the way and all that, where Doug was a dream come true. But most of these inside our company, it wasn't without troubles and problems, but it was a family. We really got along. We trusted each other. It was sort of, outside the gate was where our problems were. Inside was a pretty cool place to be.
That's awesome. Jim, as we're coming to the end here, I just want to thank you. It's been a fantastic time. I could talk to you for another couple hours, and maybe we'll have you on back down the line. I guess number one is for fans who are tuning in, fans of Doug, of our show, fans of you, whatever it is. Like, what are you up to now, and what are you working on? Where can people check you out and follow you and whatnot? And two, I think my last question, I told you some of mine kind of have a theme, but one thing I noticed with children, I worked with children for years, including my own, is like they have the inability to be bored, and parents, we jump on these kids like, oh my God, they're bored. Let's give them something to do. Let's give them, a show, or shove crayons in their face, or a toy, or like, I remember like my parents getting home and just being like, go outside, go make your own fun, or whatever it is. Do you think like boredom and the ability to cure boredom like helped you have the ability to be able to create something like Doug? Was it out of boredom? Was it out of just finding your own interest? And like, do you find that with like kids you interact with, whether it's your family or whatnot, like we just don't allow them to be bored, which can be the creation of, hey, I like to doodle because I have nothing else to do, and then all of a sudden you have Doug 30 years later,
So, listeners to this podcast, I just want to say that was the most brilliant little run you just did ever. That little speech, I know you didn't mean it as a speech, but this notion,
I go off on a tangent sometimes.
That tangent was brilliant. And this notion of the way you're using the word boredom, which is right. And my childhood was filled with, I'm so bored, I just want to just blow up. And then you go, well, I've got this popped basketball, and I've got a stick, and I got, these raw materials, and you make up a game, or you go make up a story, or whatever you do. That was my childhood, and that's how Doug's imagination, that was a lot, all those imaginary characters and all that was the stuff we were playing in our backyard and whatever. We did not have the structured life that most kids have these days.
Right.
And I don't want to come across as saying everything modern families do is wrong. I just know that pre-computer day and days of creative free time, I'll call it.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember the end of summer, like sitting in a buddy's garage being like, we're so bored, and like poking little roly-poly bugs and figuring out, I don't know, like making things for them. Like, let's make them a house.
Yes.
Like,
and that is part of the creative process. And I feel strongly about the things you're saying, giving kids free time to play in the woods. That there are a lot of reasons we could talk forever about, but that's a big deal that you just said about giving kids time, space is a good thing. But I want to make sure I get to say this other thing before we run out of time.
There's no run out of time. We'll stay on with you all night if you want.
Oh, okay.
He's like, uh-oh.
Oh, crap. I gotta go. I gotta go.
That's right. Put on the pizzas. As far as what I'm doing now, one thing that's really developing and gathering a lot of momentum is we, meaning my wife Lisa and I, have saved a ton of animation cells and other things for years. 20 years, 30 years. And we finally made an agreement with the Cricket Gallery in Atlanta. We love the people there, and they have been doing this for 30 some odd years. They started with Disney, really setting them on the track of showing an aftermarket, a use of painted cells and stuff. Anyway, they have our stuff now. So if you want to see what we're up to, there's an Instagram page called Real Jim Jinkins, spelled Jinkins, but it's Real Jim Jinkins. And I'm beginning to spend more time telling little stories behind the scenes, and that's going to continue. And I'm going to keep, I might do the Quail Man backstory of where did that come from, or I just did one for Mother's Day, and added photos and pictures to show the thought process. So that's a place to go. And of course, if you go to a Cricket Gallery, you can see all kinds of cells and visuals and merchandise from not just Doug, but from other stuff. But go there and look at the Doug cells. There's some amazing cells. One of them, if I can be visual again, this one this is my heart right here. It's all shiny, so you can't really see it, but that's Doug. This is the pilot.
Yes.
And that's the first time we come into Doug's room with Pork Chop. This is the first time we saw it.
I want that.
And this is the original right here.
That's
so I'm
amazing.
going to have this framed, and it's a very special piece. But I did want to tell you that we're spending a lot more time is being poured into what's going on with Cricket Gallery. So that's a thing. And then, the rest of the answer is really more opportunities locally to be with kids. In the schools have invited me in to do extended workshops with them, and other good camps. It'll kick in big time this summer. There's all kinds of opportunities. We live up in the mountains of North Carolina, and we go into Asheville, and there are a lot of kids and a lot of they want to get into art stuff and making animation toys and all kinds of ways to get them hooked to thinking visually and making up stories.
I live in Douglasville, which is half an hour from Atlanta, so I'll definitely.
Oh, I get it.
Check out Cricket.
Douglasville. You had to throw that in there. Ha ha.
That's the name of the city. I moved here before
I didn't plan it.
City dropper.
Yeah. Final question for me.
Yeah.
What's the longest the Doug theme song stuck in your brain where you're like, get out, get out?
Me, like 4 years or so. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's Fred Newman's fault. Blame it on.
It's awesome. Jim, thank you so much for your time, man. We really appreciated this interview. And again, it's like, for me, it's like checking off a box. Like I said to Mike, I was like, I had the same feeling today as we had before we interviewed Kevin Eastman, who created the Ninja Turtles. And it was such a big part of my life. And I was like,
yeah.
Finally, I get to, chat with this guy for a couple minutes. So I had that same feeling today, that like good feeling. So I want to thank you.
You guys are the best. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
I want to thank you for your time, and good luck with anything you got going on. And we'd love to have you back on and down the line. Sure.
I would love that. Anytime.
Mike, the one and only Jim Jinkins.
Hold it. What did you call me?
What do you mean?
What did you call me? That is not what our guests refer to me as, and what you will refer to me for the remainder of the show.
Mike,
I will let you talk after the Time Lord is recognized.
I'm not recognizing Time Lord, you asshole.
You just did, so you may continue. And you recognize my other nickname too.
Here we go. Now it's going to be Time Lord for the next couple weeks.
The Time Lord from Douglasville. That's what you will refer to me as.
Well, you know what? Now that you're the Time Lord of Douglasville, you better create a game where you're the Time Lord. So
it's on my list next to the Father's Day one. I haven't started yet.
Yep. Well, time's ticking, buddy.
The Time Lord knows.
You're. What a fantastic interview. I would go on a limb and say 2 weeks in a row, 2 possible Verby contenders. These two could be neck and neck at the end of the year, as far as interviews of the year, because right now I'm feeling both of those.
Porter McKnight is somewhere going, thanks, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't include me, not a 3-game winning streak.
No, I didn't even think of it, because you're older than me. You're only a couple years older than me. But did you have actually any experience with Doug, as far as cartoons and stuff?
Yeah, I watch the show from time to time. It was a great show. I enjoyed it very much so. But like I said, it was a little later in my time frame. But I did catch it from time to time. It was a quality show. There's no way around it. It was its own thing. And you could recognize it from the beginning that it was something special.
Yeah, whatever that was, that show hit me at the exact right time. Like those random guests we get where you're like, wow, this is right in my wheelhouse. and I got you, as a good friend, I got you John Snyder and Tom Wopat and Alan Shane. Basically, I'm checking all the boxes on Dukes of Hazzard. You're not reciprocating, but it's okay.
I haven't seen Daisy Duke yet. Cooter's still around.
All right, I'm gonna go look for Cooter and Daisy Duke after this. Now,
yeah.
What are you giving back to me?
Well, after I receive Cooter and Daisy Duke, the Time Lord will consider what you have done and make a decision.
That sentence alone, after I receive Cooter and Daisy Duke, is he's talking about the Dukes of Hazzard people. He's not just talking like what he wants right now.
Oh yeah, if you mesh the two together, it does sound like something.
Yeah,
I just realized.
So yeah, like that show like really was like right in the exact moment where I was like, this is such a fun show. And like I even said on the interview, like I watched it like way too long. Like when I was like, I think I had like a late bloom in maturing, because like I think I told the story on the cast before, like me and my buddy were like still playing with wrestling figures in like 7th grade or something, 8th grade, where you're like approaching high school, and we're like making reviews and like scheduling matches with each other, and like having theme songs for and even like we acknowledge it, like we never talked about it outside of us playing with them. But I actually hope there's a lot of kids out there doing that, like still playing with things. Like their childhood's not gone by like 5th grade. Like that's not enough.
Yeah, my maturing will come in the next 2 decades or so. I
feel like you definitely make pay-per-views with your wrestling figures.
Yeah, I'm coming around the corner. No, it's bound to eventually happen. And like when I'm in hospice, I'm like, all right, now I'm going to be an adult.
Yeah. So yeah, two great weeks in a row. So Mike, I have a story for you, which I feel like our stories always just involve, let's just face it, they just always involve butts and fluids and everything under the sun. So
we gave up on like critiquing life stories or anything like that. We just we're like, we know what we're solid for: interviews, butt stuff, and fluids.
That is a good tagline for a show. You know what? Screw it. Tonight, instead of saying life is funny, I'm going to be like, we're a little taken away. Interviews, butt stuff, and fluid. Have a good night.
Spoiler.
So, this weekend I had a show. I found out late, like I had the show for a while, but I found out late that I was headlining it.
Oh.
And, I was happy about it, actually. Like I wasn't like the usual dork that I am, like, oh crap, oh, like I don't know, like I was cool about it. And it was at a winery in New York, right over in Hudson Valley. Supposedly the oldest winery in the country. Shout out to Brotherhood Winery. It's a very beautiful
supposedly place. Like they're faking their age.
I don't know, dude. You know how there's you go to the city and it's like the oldest bar in the city, and they're all just claiming they're the oldest bar in the city.
Like, are you going in there like, wait a minute, isn't there one in Watkins Glen that's 2 years older than you? And they're like, oh crap, he knows, run.
I mean, I would say that too. Oldest winery in the city. Sure, it's a good selling point.
We're the oldest podcast in American history, if you didn't know.
We're getting close.
Kind of feels like it.
We need Rogan to die. We need Corolla to die, and we're
on it.
Great. Go get Rogan. All right. So I have this show, and it's only about an hour drive. And I leave, and I'm going to the show. I'm kind of excited for it, and everything's feeling good, man. Like I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about my set that I kind of envisioned, and like I've been doing some more comedy lately, like as my daughter's getting a little easier to handle. I don't feel as guilty leaving her with the wife, and she works late sometimes and I take her, so it's like this nice agreement we have, and she knows I'm pushing to do something creative and whatnot. And I'm feeling good. I'm playing good music. I listened back to a set just to go over a couple of jokes that I want to try and add to. Feeling great. And it was pretty decent paying. I was like, nice. That'll cover the groceries for the week. It's a nice gig. I'm driving. I get into a little traffic, and I'm driving up 87, and I have to pee. Now, I had made the mistake of having like coffee before just to kind of wake up, and I've actually cut out like afternoon coffee. I used to be so bad with coffee. It would be like wherever I'm going, I'm gonna stop and grab a coffee beforehand. Now I'm just like, I make my pot in the morning. I give my wife a cup, and I take the rest, which is equivalent to like 2 of those Yeti cups, but that's for the whole day, which I don't think is that crazy. Like the maybe like 16-ounce tumblers or 12-ounce tumblers, whatever it is.
Do you just pick up the coffee pot and just pour it directly into your face like an animal?
I wish I could, because that would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Like hot
life goals.
Hot as hell too. Like
but still like screaming and like, I'm an animal.
Like how much coffee do you have? How much coffee do you have a day?
2. I have 2 cups a day.
2 like mugs?
Yeah. So I'll make a K cup or whatever, and I'll either go back and do another one later on, closer to the afternoon, or I'll go out to a coffee shop and get one
at
there.
A cow. Yeah, we got him.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, damn it, you beat me to it.
Yeah,
I was just about to welcome them. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm driving there, but I really have to pee, and I'm on like a highway, and I'm like in a section where there's like not many exits. Now, I decide I'm just gonna pee in a bottle. I've done this many times.
Bragging.
I'm pretty good at it. Okay.
Again, you're bragging.
Yeah.
Like
I've peed.
We know, Scott. Like you went to the Olympics. You were in Zurich, and you beat out the Russians and pissing into a Gatorade bottle. We all saw the video. It was the miracle on urine.
If you're telling me breakdancing could be a sport, pissing in a bottle on a long car trip could be a sport.
Yeah, you got cocky with the trick shots and all. You had somebody throw the bottle, you tried to piss into it 300 feet away. Didn't work.
No, I've pissed in cups before and whatnot. It is what it is. I just pee and I'm okay. So I find an old Gatorade bottle, okay, and I'm like, I'll just pee in it. What'd you say?
Is it a fresh one? Was it a pre-used one that you poured out?
No, just an empty bottle, an empty one,
Okay.
Not red or orange either. It was
good.
It was white,
Yeah.
So
if you pee in it, then it's clear. Then I could have had it before my colonoscopy, but continue.
So I'm driving and I'm like, I'll just pee. Now, I've done this a lot before. I don't know if people do this a lot, but I've peed and drive many times. Drove, peed and drove.
Driven.
Yes. Driven, peed and driven. Yeah, okay. So I start peeing. I pee. Perfect pee. Don't get any on myself. Okay. And I'm about 15 minutes from the venue. I feel good. I start to get back into my zone. And I'm like, we're going to crush this tonight. 10 minutes left to the venue. Feeling good. Going to crush this tonight. Right around 7 minutes to the venue, old Dum Dum here never capped the Gatorade bottle for pee, and it was on his console and kind of had to get off and exit. And
what happened next, Scott?
I poured the entire, or almost the entire, Gatorade bottle of pee back onto myself. I re-pissed myself.
Ooh.
Now, most people will pee themselves, or they might have an accident while peeing into the thing. I had a thing of pee. I was done in the clear, and I poured it all over myself.
All right. So first question right off the bat. Why wasn't the natural spot the bottle holder?
Because, although that's a good question, it's a great question, but this was the Gatorade that they're like the fatter ones,
the mega Gatorade bottles. Okay,
yeah, like the fat ones that don't fit into the cup.
32 some odd ounces. I want to say.
I guess I don't know the bigger ones with the fat bottom.
You like to pee in them fat bombs, don't you?
I do.
Fat bottom girl, you make the rock and world go round.
I am in the middle of nowhere, New York. I pee all over myself. Not pee myself. I put pee onto myself.
Yeah.
Soaked right in my crotch area. Like it literally looks like I peed myself. Okay. And I am in full panic mode because in about 45 minutes, I am going to be going on stage and I'm looking up Walmarts, Targets, anything. I'll go get new pants. I'm soaked. I'll go get new pants. Nothing for like 20 miles on either end. And I had to be at the show pretty, within the next 10, 15 minutes. And I'm never late to anything. I'm never late.
What's the shirt situation, out of curiosity?
Shirt was safe. It landed kind of just onto my shorts, onto my jeans, and just soaked them completely in the crotch area.
Gotcha. And this is not like a darker color where you might be able to.
No, these are straight up jeans. Jeans.
Blue jeans. Gotcha.
Yep. And so I go into full like Boy Scout mode, like reaching for anything in the car. Like I found one shirt, a t-shirt that I had from the gym, and I just start soaking, like scrubbing my pants as fast as I can.
So you had sweat piss crotch.
Sure. Yes. Old sweat piss
SPC. Crotch. That's what you're known for.
Start scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. But I noticed my underwear was soaked. Like it got me that bad. And I'm like, I can't go on stage like this. So I pull over, take my underwear off, throw that somewhere
sexy
in the car, zipper up. And then I find an old, like a wool hat. Like it was kind of wool. I'm like, this has maybe more drying ability to it. I put it on my hand like an oven mitt. And I'm just driving those 20 minutes that I had left, 15 minutes, whatever it is, just oven mitting myself. It looks like I'm playing with myself while driving up the highway.
You basically turn your hat into an SOS pad, a Brillo pad, attempting to clean the area of said urine.
And I'm vigorously scrubbing. So if you pass by me, you're like, oh my God, disgusting. Like this guy's doing something very inappropriate in his car. So I pull into the place and I'm still in full panic mode. All these good feelings about my set and whatnot, they're gone. I'm like, I'm going to be performing. The light's going to be on. There's no way of hiding this. I don't have sweats. I can't go up there in a pair of shorts and be like, I'm the guy in shorts comic, anything. I can't tie
that should have been your gimmick.
I can't tie a fleece, my jacket around my waist like it's the 90s. Like look like a complete idiot.
On the bright side, you're growing up commando like you like to feel when you do stand up.
I am commando, and I go into I pull into the place. It's this huge place. Like I don't even know where the show is, and I know I have about 10 minutes left. And I pull over into kind of like the corner of the parking lot, and I get out, and I'm really like standing up and really trying to dry my pants as much as possible. Some couple comes out. They're like, "Hi." I'm like, "Oh, hello." Like, meanwhile, they think I'm probably...
You wade with your urine-filled hands and splatter them. Gotcha.
So I text the guy. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here, I think, but I'm going over my notes, and I spilled a ginger ale all over my pants. I had to cover up.
Nice cover.
Yeah. So I walk in and I notice it is starting to dry like a little bit. Like it does look better, but it's still like I'm doing the thing. I pulled my pants as high as I can go. Like so
circling it.
So we're getting really up in the crotch. And I still have my jacket on, my light jacket. And I go right into the bathroom and like this is how stupid I am. There's a paper towel dispenser.
Okay.
And I'm like, yes, okay, this could only help. But it says voice activated. Now, I realize that someone put a sticker on there, like as a joke that it's voice activated. But dumb me is like, like, what do I say to it? Like, towel. And I'm sitting in front of him like, oh, It's a sticker that someone put on there. So I'm just
How many minutes?
2, a solid 2 minutes of being like, bah, and then they would come out, bah, and then and I realized it was just me being in front of it is why it was coming out. Yeah. So I'm just in the bathroom for like another 50. Like I introduced myself. Hey, hi, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and try to dry off this ginger ale, man. This ginger ale, got myself.
Old Canada Dry comedy.
Yeah, it's not very Canada Dry right now, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
The bottle just sweeps away to my crotch.
Yeah. So I'm drying myself, and then I'm like, okay, the show's starting like 15 minutes later. So that's another 15 minutes of drying time. I'm just sitting in the corner with my notebook in front of me, not looking at any of my notes, just focusing on drying my crotch.
I'm starting to wonder if your notes would be good enough to dry your crotch. That joke isn't as good as before. No, that was more of a 2019 joke. Maybe I could just wipe my crotch with that.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing the same joke since 2019, so but it did end up like drying enough where like the dampness kind of looked like the pattern of the jean, if that makes any sense.
Nice.
Like, it's kind of worn out a little bit.
So you didn't pour pee on yourself, you're a fashionista, right?
Yeah. And meanwhile, it's so funny. Like, the show goes on. I did a pretty good job. I'll give myself a solid B on the night. And people want to come like
pat yourself on the back, pat yourself to dry yourself.
Yeah. People are at the end of the show, they're like, oh, we want to come say hi. And like people are trying to shake hands. And meanwhile, I'm like, I'm covered in piss. Like, I don't want to say hi to you. I just want to go home.
Scott, are you the cause of that virus that was on that cruise ship?
The hantavirus? Yeah, that was me. That was me. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're like, wow, this rat probably can dry my pants better.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kept on rubbing in, and force out some of the rat's poop, and then you shake somebody's hand. They're like, we're going on a cruise tomorrow. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my fluid story. Maybe next week we'll have nothing related to our bodies or our buttholes and whatnot.
Scott, our audience is at a point right now where they're actually begging us to talk politics.
Yeah.
They're at a point right now where they're just like, just go blue or red. We don't care which direction.
What do you think of the Strait of Hormuz? But it is time to go. What a great episode tonight. Mike, anything to promote before we roll out of here?
Before I promote something, I just realized gordita was the answer I was looking for. The shell on the outside with the crunchy shell on the inside. When you said
gordita, I'm like, who's gordita? I'm like,
that's next week's guest, Spanish pop sensation gordita.
Go ahead, Mike.
So that was my low fiber food that day. I'm going to promote our good friend Zane Lamprey. He is currently going on tour right now. He's currently in the southeast of the U.S. I will be checking him out at Terrapin Beer in Athens, Georgia on May 29th, Friday. Tickets are still on sale, but he's going through North Carolina, Las Vegas, Colorado, Oregon, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, to name a few places. So if you're interested in seeing him, go to zanelamprey.com and see where you can buy your tickets.
Awesome. Yeah. And make sure you tell him the exact brewery you were at, Mike, and not make up a brewery you saw him.
God, I've been here for 4 hours. He still hasn't shown up.
I will promote a show coming up with one of the sponsors and one of the friends of the show, Harry's Records in Belmar, New Jersey, on June 12th. It is me, Mike Sicoli, Ryan Patrick, and Tony Rogers. We're doing a show. It's going to be a small, intimate, tiny, tight room in a record store, family-owned record store. Very cool. It's $20. Go to Harry's Records, look for the Eventbrite, and you could buy tickets there. I'm talking to you, all these people from high school and whatnot who always say you want to come. Well, now it's 2 people from high school working together to come up with a good show. So
Yeah.
Come
Show
out
up
to
for the show. Don't shake Scott's hand.
Yes. I'll be full of piss and vinegar, as they say.
Yeah. Minus the vinegar.
Minus the vinegar. Yeah. Other than that, I want to thank Jim Jinkins for coming on the show. What a great interview. Very happy to add him to our resume. That's it, guys. Life is funny. Laugh at it. Keep the wind at your back.
What was my phrase again? I forgot.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about body.
Great interviews, butt stuff, and fluids. Bam!
We apologize in advance.